Welcome aboard, everybody. I'm your pilot wannabe for today's unusual flight. We're going to be doing a bit of a role-playing rescue mission today. I'll explain more of that when we're, well, at the point we would normally be looking at the flight plan. We'll talk about what the mission is, and then we'll look at the flight plan, and then we'll get back to the plane. So, see you there. Okay, so here on Wikipedia, uh, this is a real life rescue mission that a gentleman went on back in 1991. I believe, oh, 1992. I'm sorry. Yeah, this guy, hopefully I do the pronunciation okay. Orestes Lorenzo Perez. Back in 1991, he defected from Cuba, communist Cuba. He flew a MiG-23 to Key West and wanted, surrendered the plane and asked to defect to the United States. And he was given citizenship, and the plane was returned to Cuba. And for like a year and a half, he tried to get his family, his wife and two sons, released from Cuba, to no avail. The Castro was the guy in charge of Cuba at the time. I think Fidel Castro. Anyway, he said no. He wouldn't release the guy's wife and kids. So eventually, Lorenzo, I watched an old interview clip of him, and he said he wanted to be called Lorenzo, so that's what we're going to call him for short. So Lorenzo, he scrounged up $30,000 and bought a 1961 Cessna 310, and he flew it back to Cuba. He had gotten a secret message to his wife about where and when to meet him. He flew it back to Cuba and flew very low to the water when he got near Cuba to stay under radar, and landed on a coastal highway, and supposedly was only on the ground for 1 minute while his wife and two sons jumped in the plane, and then he flew back. He left. He left from Marathon, which is one of the on one of the Florida Keys. So he left from Marathon and did that rescue flight and flew them back to Marathon, and that was back in on December 19th, 1992, that he did that. So we are going to attempt to recreate that. Obviously, I don't have to worry about anyone trying to shoot me down, but nevertheless, well, here, I'll show you some pictures. Here is Orestes Lorenzo Perez right after he landed with the MiG-23 and shaking the hands of the guys at the Air Force Base on Key West who probably got fired shortly thereafter for allowing someone to come and land a MiG-23 right on the runway without shooting him down first. Anyway, and then here's some shots, I guess, of him coming back in the Cessna 310 after rescuing his wife and kids. How cool is that? And it's even a similar paint job to the 310 we're using in the simulator. Although I believe this was a 310Q or something like that, so it had a shorter nose, so it didn't look exactly the same as the 310 we're using, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So here's our flight plan. So you can see here's Florida, here's Cuba. We're leaving out of Marathon, and we're not actually going to this airport here. I'm kind of curious actually if this airport existed back when he did it, because it's very, very close to where he supposedly landed. I had a hard time finding detailed information about exactly where he landed. But the best I can do is here's that airport we were just looking at. Apparently this stretch of highway right here. Now, I have gone and looked at it. I didn't try to land on it. I started out at this airport and just flew the drone camera over here to scope it out. And I figured that's not cheating. I mean, Lorenzo would have chosen an area that he was very familiar with. So I needed to familiarize myself a little bit with it. And you know, it's a typical highway in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So it's real lumpy, and it was showing a lot of traffic on it, which we're going to ignore because the cars are intangible, the same as the airplanes. But yeah, then it's kind of disappointing. Also, this is like a rocky coastline, like a cliff, I guess, and it doesn't render that way in the simulator. It's all pretty flat, so disappointing. Maybe we'll look at the area again in Flight Simulator 24 when it comes out and see if it looks any more like a cliff, a cliffside rocky coast. But yeah, so I have the flight plan, to where I'm kind of headed towards this airport, but we're only going to be aiming to be 100 feet off the water for a good portion of the flight, and I'll just try to veer off and hop up onto the land and land on this highway and turn around and take back off again. There's descriptions of the landing, but not very good descriptions of where it was. But yeah, apparently he landed and there was a guy in a truck, and the guy in the truck looked surprised, and he turned the plane around, threw the family in the plane, took off again with a tailwind. I have no idea which way the wind's going to be going. Uh, I set the weather to just a standard weather setting for this, which I don't normally do, but I figured I didn't need anything else working against me. Oh yeah, the flight plan. So I set one waypoint, and the purpose of this waypoint is it's the point at which I need to be under the radar. The things I read about Lorenzo's flight was that he spent this portion of it under 100 feet above the surface of the water. I'm not sure if I can do that or not. I will try. What we're gonna do is figure if I'm under 500 feet, I'm okay. I'll try to be under 100 feet, but we could also, end up getting a black screen of death. So we'll see. Okay. See you guys back in the plane. Okay, we're in the plane. I'm going to not record the whole startup process. I am going to run the checklist. I thought about switching the plane to, default, so there would be no chance of failures or anything like that. But I'm already making it good weather and everything like that. We might as well live on the edge. So I left it, to where there could be random failures and whatnot, and left it getting dirty and everything. See, we've still got the water bottle down there and stuff from the last flight. So yeah, I've set it right now to actually. Here, I'll show you. Well, first of all, for weight and balance, I have no information about how he had the plane loaded. So we're going full in what I believe are the wing tanks. These labels are wrong. Left main, right main, and all that kind of stuff is not exactly correct, I believe. We're going full in the mains and half in the tip tanks. I'm betting we're not even going to touch the tip tanks. But anyway, I figure he probably was in better shape than I am, so 170 pounds sounds good. Nothing else. I figured he wasn't carrying anything else with him, trying to stay light and ready to travel. So when I land, I'm going to choose some weights to throw in here for the wife and the two kids, and no luggage. I don't think if they were only on the ground for 1 minute while they jumped in the plane, yeah, I don't think they brought anything. So, and then weather-wise, I just chose the preset few clouds, and I made it December 19th, 1992. And I believe I read somewhere that he took off at like 5:07 p.m. So after I do the whole startup process, I might plunk, and I'm ready to take off. I might go ahead and move that to like 5 p.m. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop the recording now, get the plane all fired up, and be back with you guys in just a moment. So I was going to resume the recording after the run-up and everything, but then I noticed this airplane that's just hovering over here. Actually, it was just sinking straight down over the threshold of the runway down here, and now it's kind of floating off in a nose-down attitude. Very peculiar. Yeah, so, I think it's caused me to pass the threshold of the runway myself. Yeah, I was too busy watching the plane behaving like a UFO. And I overshot the end of the runway here. So, yeah, I don't know. The run-up doesn't take long. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do the run-up with you guys watching, and then we'll get going. I don't know, the way I'm thinking about it right now, I'm going to not necessarily record the first half of the flight. I'm planning on going up to 2,500 feet. No sense in getting very high. It shouldn't take very long to reach that midway point where I need to be down below radar. So I'm thinking I'll record the descent and at least the beginning of flying under the radar is the plan. Um, and so yeah, no sense in getting very high. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and just turn the transponder off because yeah, we don't want that transmitting our location. I've retracted the landing lights. Unless it actually gets dark, I'm not intending to use the landing lights. Speaking of dark, let's go ahead and make it 5 p.m. So like I said, I think it said he took off at 5:07. So let's see how close we can get it. I guess 4:53 is about as good as we're gonna get because it'll take a couple minutes to do the run up anyway. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't get dark while I'm doing this. It seems like it'd be bad news. All right, parking brake set, throttles to 1,700. You know what? Let's do a little cross feed action this time. I need to add that to the checklist. Let's turn on the fuel pumps. Let's go to cross feed, which I never do. Okay. There's no satisfying click on that one. Strange. Okay, so let's go on cross feed. Let's up the throttles up to 1,700 RPMs. I guess some people feel like RPMs is not correct grammatically because the plural is on the revolutions, not the M's, not the minutes. But I don't care. RPMs seems natural to me. Okay, 1,700. Alternators check both. Both still charging. Our vacuum system over here is good. Alternate air controls I'm not going to bother with right now. Trying to save time. Magnetos I'm going to do with buttons on my keyboard, but here I'll try to get where you can see them. Okay, we're going to kill the left magnetos on both engines. Yep, only lost like 50. Yeah, it's almost a little too perfect after the Duke. Okay, magnetos are good. Propellers down to 1,200. It's down to 1,300 anyway. Back to full forward. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get a sense of which cylinders are the hottest here. And leave it on that. Looks like probably 3. Yep. 5. Yeah. Okay. Let's go full on the mixture and cut to idle. Make sure the engines stay running. Yep, they stay running. Goose it back up a little bit. And we'll switch back to the main tanks for takeoff. It just never does the click on the second one you do. That's strange. Okay, I already got the cowl flaps open, strobe light on, taxi light off. So I've got beacon, nav, and strobe on. I'll probably turn those all off when I reach the Cuban airspace there. Let's see, the before takeoff is fuel quantity check. Yeah, just the same as I left it. Fuel selector is on main, doors and windows closed and locked. Yeah, pitot heat on, I'm not going to worry about that. Trim set for takeoff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was 2 nose up last time. That's obviously 2 nose down. But let's at least get it to the top of the range. Man, oh, why it's so cranky. Why it doesn't want to move. Try it with this switch. Wow, it really doesn't want to move. It's not like I've got the autopilot on or anything. Well, hopefully that's not some kind of a problem. Okay. Yeah, I wish the trim was working a little better. Because I'm really going to need it to be flying at 100 feet over the water for, you know, what, 15 or 20 minutes at a time? It's going to be weird. Well, we'll see. I got to go rescue the wife and kids, you know? I can't let a little thing like a wonky trim slow me down. Okay, the rest of that checklist doesn't apply. Take off full throttle, lift off 90-92. Apply brakes, retract landing gear, flaps up if applicable. 2,500 RPMs, 24.5 inches for the climb. Auxiliary fuel pumps off once you're climbing. Okay, enough of that. Let's just go. All right, anything coming? Doesn't look like it. Anything coming from the wrong way? Doesn't look like it. And I feel like it's kind of late in the day to be starting this. Maybe he was kind of doing some of it under cover of darkness, but I don't know. Landing on a road that may or may not be well lit after dark doesn't seem like a great idea. Oh my gosh, and I already got the blinking at me. Stop blinking at me. Yeah, I suppose if I wanted to be legit, I wouldn't have GPS. I'd be doing this strictly with radio navigation. But, yeah. I don't know. I figure this is going to be challenging enough without radio navigating the whole way. Okay. And we're off. Tapping the brakes, raising the landing gear. Yeah, I'm gonna get the sun out of my face. Just go ahead and get on course here. Alright, bringing it down to under 25 psi and 2,500 on the RPMs. Climbing pretty aggressively. Yeah, the trim seems to be responding. Just doing kind of a crappy job here. We're going to use the autopilot while we can. Let's see, vertical speed. See, I'm always confused about this arm button. Anyway. And we'll put it on nav. And it'll aggressively grab the course here. Now, let's go ahead and turn the fuel pumps off. 1,000, 1,000. Engine stayed running, so other one. Okay, already at 1,500 feet. When we get to 2,500, even though that's below 3,000, which is when you're supposed to start dicking around with the mixture. When we get to 2,500, I'm going to go ahead and probably set it rich of peak, like 50 degrees rich of peak, and then I'm going to leave it that way, even for the low portion of the flight. That's my plan anyway, because I doubt no matter what altitude you're at, you'd want to fly this whole way with the mixture full rich. I'm not sure that's gonna do your spark plugs any favors. But let's see, it says at our current speed, it's 15 minutes to that, 15 minutes to Cuban airspace. So there's that. Okay, already over 2,000 feet. Yeah, it's going to be no time at all here that that will be in our cruise. Yeah, I'm not even going to bump the, I could bump the throttles up, but no point in that. Well, let's get some panel lights going on. Kind of backlit here. Just going to crank all the panel lights all the way up. See if that helps any. Yeah, I don't know about this whole time of day thing. Alright, we're going to capture the altitude. Yeah. So what is the point of the arm button on this thing? It doesn't seem to do anything. Seems superfluous. Okay, so we're officially in the cruise. How about that? I'm not going to refer to any charts or anything. I think we're just going to go, 23 squared and then go 50 degrees Richard Peak. And then we'll reevaluate when we get down low. Okay, 23 squared. And then I'm dragging the mixtures back. Well, they're starting to crank up. There's the left engine peaked out. Okay, so there's peak. I'm going rich again on the left engine. We'll go right about there. Yeah, there's peak on the right engine. Okay, we'll call that 50 degrees Richard Peak. That's getting us 170 ground speed. Can't complain about that. So we need to lose a minimum of 1,000 feet by the time we reach Cuban airspace. So that's only a couple of minutes. So I'll give myself a good 4 minutes before reaching the waypoint that marks the Cuban airspace. I'll give myself 4 minutes to get down under 500 feet. And I will go ahead and resume recording at that point. So, see you in a minute. Alright, gang, we're getting close. I'm going to go ahead and have the autopilot descend us down to 500, and then I'm going to take over to go below 500. You're probably not even supposed to have the autopilot on below 1,000, but you know, I'm figuring it'll get us in a nice descent. Oops. Messing up already. Okay, 500 feet per minute. Let's close the cal flaps. I'm not going to back the throttles off much, and I'm not going to turn the fuel pumps on low, which you're supposed to do in the descent. You're supposed to turn them on low in the descent and then carry that on through the landing, but this isn't that kind of descent, so I'm not going to turn the fuel pumps on yet. These fuel pumps are difficult to turn on while manually flying the plane, so that's going to be fun for the landing. I wish I could bind them to the switches on my honeycomb, but alas, those 3-position switches don't really work so good for that. At least I haven't been able to get them to work. I don't know if there's some other way to get them to work. So a couple of things have occurred to me. I'm still a little worried about how low the sun is, because I don't want to be trying to land at a non-airport in the dark. And I also don't especially want the whole last part of this video to be in the dark either, because dark videos, you know, aren't so easy to watch on your phone in the daytime or something like that. So we'll just play that by ear. I may have to use my, the godlike powers that are bestowed on us in the flight simulator to change the time of day, just to keep the light going. But we'll see if we can at least make the landing and pick up the wife and kids, before doing that. What was the other thing that occurred to me? Now I forget. Besides the fuel pumps, I thought about that it was going to be hard to turn those fuel pumps on for the landing. There's something else that hadn't occurred to me until now. Ooh, feels like we're getting awful close to that, to the Cuban airspace there. I've still got a minute and a half. Okay, let's descend faster. Faster, please. And let's go ahead and back the throttles off to 19. I'm never going to remember what it was I was thinking about at this rate. Oh, you know what? We should probably turn all the lights off too. Okay. Beacon light off. Nav light. Strobe light. We are incommunicado now. I'll flip the landing gear switch, or excuse me, landing light switch back to the neutral off position. Oh, look, water. Oh, it would be all glassy smooth, wouldn't it? It just makes it a little harder. See, 49 seconds. Oh, cutting it a little close. Getting under 500 here. Oh, that was the other thing that I thought of. The flight plan, I'm just going to have to turn around and follow it back and watch for when I get to this waypoint, this IKBIX. I'm just going to have to watch for it. And then maybe after that, and I climb up, I could do a direct to marathon, perhaps. Okay, well, we're down. All right. Knocking the autopilot off. And I am going to see if we can get down as close as we can to 100 feet, which this glassy water is going to be weird. All right, 197 is our desired track. I don't really know if I've got any kind of a crosswind or anything. I'm just going to try to follow the line on the GPS. Like I said, if I wanted to be really legit, I suppose I should have done this with just the radio stack and no GPS at all. All right, we're still descending a little bit. Yeah, this is sketchy. This feels quite sketchy. 200 feet. Start giving it a little more throttle in the hopes that will partially arrest our descent. No, it did. It worked a little too good. I didn't quite get down to 100. Okay. Obviously, I'm not really going to be able to zoom in on the engine gauges. I mean, in real life, it'd be a little easier to glance over there and look at the engine gauges, but this is a little too freaky. Oh my God, I got to do this for 20 minutes. Not quite 20 minutes, since that's to the airport. We're not going to the airport. Oh, this is super sketchy. No, I'm not under 100 feet, but we're gonna call this good. I'm anywhere around 100 feet. We're gonna call that a win. Okay, still following the gentle line for the most part. Oh, got up to 200 feet. That's no good. Okay, well, as terrifying as this is being for me, it's probably not going to be all that interesting for you guys, so I might go ahead and see if I can actually look away long enough to pause the recording again. Or you know what? I'm just going to let it record, and if in the editing, if I decide that it is too boring, I'll just edit it out. That way, I don't have to look away and screw around with my computer. Yeah, and on the subject of editing, I figured there was a good chance this video was going to be long enough that it needs to be 2 parts. And if that turns out to be the case, oh my gosh, this is creepy. If that turns out to be the case, I'll just break it in editing, which I've never done before. Usually, if it's 2 parts, I do a sign off, you know, and sign back on, kind of a thing in the recording. And I'm not going to try to figure out if I need to do that or not. I'm just gonna record this as one big video. And if it seems long enough I need to break it into 2 parts, I'll just do that. Okay. Well, and speaking of that, if this seems too dull, I'll be editing this out anyway. Okay, 17.5 minutes. Turns out time kind of flies when you're trying not to crash into this relatively glassy water. I think I just about got the trim sorted out. I'm satisfied with like 120 feet. Ooh, dare we see what this looks like from the outside? Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, when I paused the recording earlier, I took some outside shots. Probably use some of it for thumbnail. Maybe make a short. I haven't made a short in a while. No, I'm a little off course. Not that it matters. We're going to be going a little off course at the very end anyway. 16.5 minutes. This is creepy. Oh, wrong switch. Let's try that. Oh, there's just not much to see out here. Yeah, the guy who did this in real life, dressed as Lorenzo Perez. Yeah, I guess when he landed, whoops, I nudged the trim down. I guess when he landed, he was worried. He saw that truck or whatever that he was near when he was turning his plane around. He was afraid that truck was government agents come to arrest and or kill him and his family. So lucky they made it out. But yeah, he's actually, I guess, got a YouTube channel. I watched a little bit of one of his videos just to see him. Actually, I wanted to hear him say his name. But yeah, he's got a presence on YouTube, and in certain circles is a pretty famous guy. Well, we're definitely in Cuban airspace now. Not that I've never flown in Cuban airspace in the simulator before, it's just that, I don't know, it seems a lot more serious this time. So I'm getting into character. Man, it keeps feeling like I've gotten lower, and I look at the altimeter and I'm still just over 100 feet, so let's see, 14.5 minutes to go. Does the water get even glassier up here? Yeah, it looks like. Oh, I can, yeah, land ho. Oh boy. Surprised I can see the land already. 38 miles away? Yeah, 38 miles away. Now the question will be, can I recognize where I'm supposed to be when I get there? Can I get slowed down enough to land and get in the right spot? Like I said, I didn't practice this or anything. I went and looked at it because I figured Lorenzo knew what it all looked like. But I didn't practice trying to land there, just the same as I'm sure he had never had the opportunity to practice landing there. But he at least had the advantage of really knowing the area and having a more realistic rendering of the world than what I'm gonna have. Like I said, it's supposed to be kind of rocky cliffs where we're coming in here, and it's rendered all flat. I feel like if it was rocky cliffs, I would have a better, easier time of orienting myself. What if we zoom the map out some? I'm gonna try and watch my altitude while I do this. Ah. Oh. Sheesh. Okay. I'm gonna back up on the throttle. Slow down a little bit. I know that's gonna put me in danger of descending. Oh, I just noticed that the engine's cooled down fairly dramatically. I never closed the cowl flaps. Oh, I did close the cowl flaps when I descended. I forgot that I remembered. Anyway, oh, we got a little high again. Sheesh, there's a lot to think about when you're doing this. Okay. Alright, plane. Get a handle on it here. So that's the little bay, and it's along the edge of the bay is the highway we need to land on. Right? I'm asking you like you can answer me, or... Whoa! Oh my god. I still feel like in real life it'd be a little easier to tinker around with stuff on the panel, because, you'd be able to see out of the corner of your eye, not to mention that you would be able to feel what the plane is doing in the seat of your pants, whereas here you only have what you can see outside and the instruments for orientation. Okay, I got a little high again. Okay, I'm gonna put my feet on the, I haven't had my feet on the pedals for a while. Alright, what's our airspeed? Okay, low enough for the first stage of flaps. We're gonna go one stage of flaps so we can get down into, that's probably early, because that says 12 minutes. What am I seeing here? The land is still pretty far away. Okay, forget that. Raising the flaps back up. We don't need to be going that slow. And getting a false impression of how quickly we're coming up to it here. Yeah, definitely pretty exciting, at least for me, anyway. Oh, and the Garmin 430 is flashing at me. Stop flashing at me. Zoom in a bit. Okay, back down to 100 feet, running about 150 knots indicated. 152 ground speed. Basically water speed at this point. Yeah, like 11 minutes still. Too soon to be getting flaps and junk going on. One click up on the elevator trim starts me climbing, and then one click down starts me descending. Doesn't seem to be a happy median there. Okay, go back to a click down on the elevator trim, because there I was just climbing for a while. My arms are getting tired. Okay, we're getting closer. 9:45. Yeah. And the sun's getting lower and lower in the sky. Oh, getting high again. I've been sort of pulling back on the yoke. I get paranoid. I start pulling back on the yoke. Start climbing, which is going to get me shot down. Okay, let's see if we can look at the GPS without losing track of what's going on outside of the plane. Yeah, another click down on the trim. It goes down. Okay. Yeah, the trim wheel on my Honeycomb Bravo just doesn't do anything on this plane. I have to entirely do it with buttons. Okay, stop climbing so much. Yeah, I definitely missed the trim wheel from the Turtle Beach Velocity 1. If Honeycomb could have made their trim wheel work like the Turtle Beach, that would have been amazing. I mean, the Honeycomb does everything else better, but I missed the trim wheel from the Velocity 1 and the Vernier push-pull, plunger style power management controls that the Velocity 1 has. I missed those, but oh boy. For the first time, I'm really wondering if this isn't going to end prematurely in a black screen. Yeah. Yep. Because I don't usually land planes like this in off-field situations. Usually it's a bush plane, like the Kit Fox or something. Not usually trying to, come in for a screaming 100-knot landing with the 310 on some uneven ground somewhere off airport. So yeah, I'm concerned. Yep, climbing again. Oh boy. Man, I cannot imagine how nervous Lorenzo must have been doing this for real. I guess he got a secret message to his wife through a third party, some Mexican citizens that could more easily travel in and out of the U.S. and Cuba. I guess they got a message to his wife, Victoria, I believe her name was. Message to her for her and the kids to wear, like brightly colored shirts. I think it was in the photo, like orange shirts or something. So he'd be able to see them by the side of the road, and told him exactly what road and what time of day and what day and everything. And yeah, it's just really an amazing story. Okay, we are getting close. Ever closer. Yeah, I want to be up into here. I believe the highway was running right along. Oh, climbing again. Highway was running right along here, wasn't it? Maybe I'll just try and get up on the ground here. I'll try to get overland here and watch for the highway. Yeah. That seems like a plan. Let's do that. So I don't want to go into this bay and wait to get on the land and be too late to catch the highway or something like that. Getting high again. Okay. All right, 4.5 minutes to that airport. Yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and let's see, it's 158 for the first notch of flaps. We're gonna go 1 notch of flaps. Whoa. Okay, take it easy on the ballooning. Okay, 1 notch of flaps ballooned us up a little bit, but I'm going to open the cowl flaps back up one at a time so I'm not looking away too long. I'm going to try to turn. Ooh, I'm over 200 feet. That's no good. Fuel pump's on. Yeah, back down closer to 100 feet. There we go. And then how's our speed? We're down. Oh, we're not quite down into gear and final flap stage, so I'm gonna pull the throttles back a little bit. Oh no, this may be a mistake, but I'm not going to go full rich on the mixtures. I'm gonna go another minute or so. I'm gonna go top of the green on the RPMs. I'm actually really toying with the idea of not ever going full rich on the mixtures. We're getting low. There you go. Slowing down like that. Brought the altitude down. Oh, significantly brought the altitude down. Oh, things are getting crazy now. Yeah, the road's over here somewhere. Yeah, we'll just follow the coast over here. Is that 10 miles? Let's bring that down to 5 miles. There we go. Okay, yeah, let's go follow the coast over here. Oh, it went up to 200 feet. That's no good. Oh, now I'm going to have the sun in my face for the landing. I don't know how I feel about that. Come on, bring it back down. Let's do gear. This is crazy. Yeah, I don't like the sun being in my face for this. Alright, going top of the green on the RPMs. Going about halfway on the mixture, halfway to full rich. Okay, getting a little slow, giving it some throttle. Stay at 100 feet, but I don't want to get below the blue line. I want to be able to maneuver. Yeah, I really can't guarantee that I'm not going to get a black screen on this. Giving it more throttle. Getting pretty slow. Oh my God, am I even going to be able to see this highway? Yeah, see, this is supposed to be like a rocky cliff shore, and it's not very tall for it's supposed to be being a cliff. And I am not sure about this whole time of day thing either. Okay, where is my highway? Okay, there it is. Yeah, that's why I wanted to stay above blue line. so I can maneuver. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, full flaps. At least I got a good long stretch of highway. Can't see, can't see, can't see. Ground's gonna come up to meet me. Bouncing on the bumps here. Okay, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Okay. Flaps are all the way up. And the throttle's up. Going hard on the right-hand engine to get turned around. Hopefully I don't hit a wingtip on a tree that's not intangible. I hit a tree. I clipped a tree after I successfully landed. Can you believe that? I'm so disappointed. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording and try to figure out what I want to do. Hey gang, we're back. Yeah, this is cheating, I suppose. I mean, I successfully landed. I just screwed up the turning around part. So I got it all geared back up again. In the interest of full disclosure, I'll tell you this is my second attempt at taking off from here. You wouldn't think taking off would be more challenging than landing, but something went wrong on my takeoff. But I'm loaded up. It's around about the same time as it was. I put on the same date. I guesstimated where the fuel was. I added the weight of wife and children, though they don't look like two boy children. They don't look like two boy children at all. Anyway, let's see if we can do this time. The benefit to being, doing this again is I had the opportunity to punch the flight plan in the other way around. So there's that. Okay, I'm releasing the parking brake. I think we're gonna go for. I'm gonna guess what the short field procedure is. I'm thinking approach flaps. Thinking that I'm going to run the RPMs up, and I'm going to lean the mixture out for max RPM. Let's see, I'm putting it on 1800 RPMs. I'm pulling the mixture back. RPMs are going up. Yeah, they didn't go up anymore. So let's do that again just till they top out. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to go full throttle and then release the brakes. I like the floating lights, the orbs. Yeah, this is some uneven terrain even for a road. Oh yeah, we're airborne. Tapping the brakes, putting the gear up. Oh, getting too high. We need, oh, flaps up too. Alright, pulling the power back and trying to get back down low. I know I said under 500 feet, but we're pushing 500 feet now. There's a lot of air noise. My window's closed, right? My door latched? Yeah, it looks like it's latched. Why is there so much air noise? Oh god, I'm climbing again. Okay, I gotta pull the power down. Oh my god. Come on, down, girl. Down. Yeah, starting to come down. Well, looks like we might be doing a night landing, more or less, either way. All right, need to get back down lower again. Yeah, I hope the cowl flaps are open. Turn my flashlight back on again. I think they're open. Can't really look that long. Alright, let's see if I can get the engine set here. It seems really low. I didn't double check the barometric pressure setting on the altimeter. I'm wondering if it went back to where it was set in the past instead of the 2992 where I had it. I really wish I had looked before taking off. Yeah, it's not right. So I'm actually lower than it's reading. Or I'm higher than it's reading. Oh, this is confusing. I can't see really where the surface of the water is. To know how close I am to it. Okay, I need this at like 2992. That's probably about 2992. Okay. Yeah, I'm under 500 feet, but not very close to 100. Roll on to the course here a little bit. Back to trying to get the engines at 2323. Yeah, we're about there. Bring the mixture back a little bit. Just guesstimating. There's no way I can focus on the instruments enough to actually shoot for perfectly rich a peak or anything. The engines look like they cooled off enough. Yeah, we're not on the red line, so I'm not going to worry about it. Still at 300 feet. This is a lot scarier with it being darker. It says I've got 15 whole minutes to the point where I can climb up to an altitude I could use the autopilot with at least. To get under 200 feet now. It's 77 knots ground speed. Minutes. All right, I'm gonna reach over and pause the recording. And catch back up with you guys if something interesting happens or when I reach the waypoint can start climbing. All right, see if I can do this without crashing. All right, see you in a minute. All right, we're back. Just kind of wanted to show you guys I did get it pretty much stabilized. Tinkering around with the rudder and aileron trim right now, trying to get it to hold course. But elevator-wise, I got it pretty ironed out, as you can see. Here's a follow behind shot. In fact, I feel almost stable enough to do a drone shot. Let's try it. Well, that's pretty wicked. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I changed the time just slightly. It was getting pretty dark, and I realized I'd probably chosen a time that was maybe 15 minutes later than I really needed to, so I tried to bump it back 15 or 20 minutes. It's not a very exact thing, but it gave me just a little bit of daylight. It looks cool. Yeah, it looks all right. See how the wife's doing. See how the kids are doing. Although I don't remember the kids looking this way. Oh well. I have been gone for a year and a half or so. So there's that. Yeah, I saw there was other pictures of the kids and the wife in the plane. Here, I can try to keep flying and swap it over and show you guys. Let's try it. I gotta keep looking back at what I'm doing. That's not it. There we go. Yeah, here they are in the plane. Pretty cool, huh? Ooh, hope I don't crash while I'm looking at pictures. Really shouldn't be looking at pictures while flying like this. There doesn't seem to be any other good ones. Okay, we'll swap back. Okay. 2 minutes till we're out of Cuban airspace. Hallelujah. Yeah, a little, not so much off course as I'm beside the course. As soon as we cross over, I'm going to turn the lights on, start a climb, and hit the autopilot when we get up to around 1,000 feet. So yeah, I wish I could have done it smoothly all in one go. Even if I had managed to make the U-turn without getting the black screen, I'm wondering if I still would have botched the takeoff. Hard telling. I'll have to try something like this again sometime. Maybe in the new simulator. Less than 1 minute till we're free and clear. All right. 30 seconds. Let's see, how's the temperatures and junk going? If I should, oh, you know what? I never turned off the fuel pumps. That's okay. When we start the climb, I'm gonna switch tanks, I think. Anyway. Yeah, I never turned off the fuel pumps. That's all right. That is okay. Okay. Nav lights and strobe lights. Increasing mixture a smidge, increasing RPMs a little bit, and throttle a little bit, and trimming up. Oh, that's too much. We could turn the transponder on altitude reporting. So we are free and clear. I am not even going to wait till we get to 1,000 feet. I'm going to hit the autopilot. Nav. Yeah, arm. I'll hit arm. I don't know. 600 feet per minute? Sure. That seems fine. 2,400, or I'm sorry, 24 PSI. Okay, let's, whoa, it's really dark down there. Oh, there's the fuel valves. That's switch tank. Sounds like they're still running. Switch tank. Okay. Let's see, nav, vertical speed, headed for 2,500. All looking pretty good. All looking pretty good. Something else I need to do? I don't think so. Probably try to call a marathon when we're less than 30 nautical miles out. I'm assuming it has a tower. No, I'm not sure. I didn't really check before leaving. Guess I should have. Ah, forgot somebody was back there. That was scary. Feet to go. Let's see, we'll run this out. Okay. All looking pretty good. Keep that in climb power here. There we go. Alternators are still charging. That's always a good thing. Now I can turn the fuel pumps off now. 1,000, 1,000. Okay. Alright, looks like we're going to have a nighttime landing after all. So, if you're watching this video in the daytime somewhere, I'm sorry. It's going to be hard to see, probably. Almost 25,000, or sorry, 2,500 feet. 12 minutes to go. Only going to have to lose, 3 minutes of altitude. Not a big deal. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording again. I'll get back with you guys when we're getting close. All right, folks. We're back. We're very close to Marathon. I like turning on the ice lights because they shine on the wings and make the plane look kind of cool, I think. Not sure in real life if I would want to wear out the bulbs, but it looks cool in the simulator, I think, anyway. Especially with those tip tanks on there. Oh, anyway, we should probably start descending. We're about 5 minutes away, and I'm going to do a downwind and all that for runway 25 because there isn't a tower, but the wind is supposedly out of 276, so we're gonna go for runway 25. Just to land. Let's get down to 1,000 feet though. Let's see, I gotta hit the altitude button. I want to turn on the, not turn on, I want to, oh, they are closed, okay. Yeah, the, what you call it, I closed them when I was in the cruise, I forgot. Okay, good enough. So, we're already rich at peak, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to pull the throttles back to around 19 PSI. Marathon is some grouping of lights up there in the darkness. We'll find out very shortly. Let's see. We can zoom that in and zoom that in. How's our speed going? Yeah, 180. That's fine. We probably could stand to go a little slower to start getting ready. Yeah, I'll give it another minute, and then I'll worry about trying to get the speed down. We'll be that much closer to the pattern altitude also. No, I never did double check and really make sure that I got the altimeter on 2992. Let's see. Oh, that was close, but not quite. That looks like 2992, doesn't it? Maybe one more. Click. Where'd the knob go? There it is. There we go. That's probably 2992. Okay. It is dark out there. Super, super dark out there. Okay, I'm going to bring the throttle back to 16 or 17 psi. To try to get slowed down and get this over with. Did not go as smoothly as I'd hoped. But, you know, what can you do? I could let the airport traffic know I'm getting closer. Let's see.
Kilo Mike Tango Hotel traffic November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo 8 miles south 1,300 feet inbound to land runway 25.
There you go. Warned them just like I'm supposed to. Let's see, if I wanted to tell them I'm on downwind, that's number 6. Okay. I'll remember that, number 6. Oh, coming down to altitude. Alright, let's give it a little throttle now so we don't lose too much speed. And I'm going to bump the RPMs up to 2400. Not going to mess with the mixture until we're on right about base, probably. Seeing the airstrip per se. Oh, I should open the cowl flaps now. Hard to see them down here. Cowl flaps open. Fuel pumps on. Fuel valves back, or fuel switches back on main. Flashlight off. Okay, that was a lot. Still not really seeing the airstrip. I mean, I'm coming at it a little askew, but well, 3 miles still. Yeah. Okay. Could stand to be a little closer before getting too excited, I suppose. Well, not too many other places for it to be. It's pretty much there. So going to downwind.
Kilo Mike Tango Hotel traffic November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo is on downwind runway 25.
As we get straightened out on the downwind, I'm gonna do the approach flaps, I think. Yeah, that's the airport, right? Or is that a road? I'll just go over there and look for it in a second. Approach flaps. Still don't really see the runway. It's kind of creeping me out. Kind of creeping me out. back on the throttles a little bit. Going for landing gear. And going into base.
Kilo Mike Tango Hotel traffic November 85 Papa Whiskey Bravo is on base runway 25.
At least I think I am. Turning on the landing and taxi lights. Okay, where is my runway? Oh, there it is. Haha. Uh-oh. What was that? Oh. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh god. Okay, killing the autopilot. Turning on to final. I'm not gonna do the radio call. Full on the mixture, full on the props. Bringing the throttle back. Overshot. Runway. Was descending too fast. Doing all sorts of stuff wrong. It's terrible. Gotta try to save this landing. I mean, if I could land on a lumpy highway in Cuba, I ought to be able to land here. Feels like I'm forgetting something. I got 3 green, fuel pumps are on, props and mixtures are forward. All my lights are on. I don't know. A little bit of floating. Not my best landing, not my worst landing. I'll take it. Flaps up. Maybe that was it. Maybe I never went to the landing flaps, which I feel like I keep doing in this plane. Wonder where the next taxiway is. I'm just gonna turn that off. No, end of the runway just about. Hope there's a taxiway down here. Oh, there it is. Kinda. Nah, just did a U-turn. Oh well. Saw that yellow line there and thought it was for the taxiway. We're just gonna cross this little bit of grass. It'll be fine. We're breaking all the rules on this flight anyway. Okay, strobe lights off. Leaving the landing lights on so I can see what I'm doing. I could turn the fuel pumps off if I could see them. There they are. Fuel pumps off. Leaning the mixture for taxiing. Opening the window. We're not going to do a whole shutdown checklist or anything. We're just going to park over here by the building and call it a limited success, which is about all I can ever hope for. Limited success. Limited success is still success. All right, parking brake. All the lights are off except for the beacon lights. And I'm leaving the interior lights on. Oh, I guess I should turn off the de-ice lights. Say goodbye to the wingtips. Okay. Yeah, just gonna kill the avionics. Kill the mixture. Can't find the door handle. Opening the door. Killing the alternators. Main power. And all of the magnetos. Fuel selectors off. Oh yeah, I gotta close the cowl flaps so my engines don't rust. There we go. Put the engine covers on and everything. All right, we did it. Sort of. Sort of, kind of did it. All right. Well, I'm not going to spend a lot of time wrapping this one up because, you know, it was weird. But mostly did it. I've lost the plane now. I'm going to get an outside view of the plane, but it's too dark to bother. Yeah, nothing to see here. Just darkness. Okay. All right. Well, I'll try to figure out something else interesting to do for the next one. Whoa, the reflection of her in the window is terrifying. Good grief. Wow. Didn't see that coming. That's horrible. I wonder if it'll do it with this one over here. I gotta go through her face. There's strange things happening here. Hers isn't as terrifying, I gotta say. This is disturbing right here. Yeah, weird. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap it up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you had a good time. You know, hopefully you can revel in my failure, because I guess that's the other side of the coin. Limited success is also limited failure. Just depends on where you want to live emotionally, I suppose. All right. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Papa Whiskey Bravo signing off. Hey there, this is Editing Papa. I realized I forgot to explain that little hiccup that I had on base there. It's some kind of a glitch that happens occasionally, very occasionally, where the left engine throttle, or engine number 1 throttle, completely zeroes out for, I don't know, quarter of a second, maybe half a second at the most, and then it goes back to wherever I have it physically set. It's happened on multiple different planes, and has caused me to crash once. Maybe we'll talk about that some other time, but wanted to jump in and explain that. So, all right, catch you guys in the next one.